That looks good. So can I ask an incredibly dumb question?
Yeah, sure.
So the gal in the band.
Is my wife.
Okay, thank you. It's sort of the question people will ask me about, like, Mrs. Dr. J.
Yeah.
Well, that was the name she came up with, but yes, she is. Tracy is my wife. And then we have those conversations where someone will say something like, hey, someone call it Mrs. Dr. J's got a sexy voice. And I'm like, you shut your mouth. And she'll be like, I don't have a sexy voice? I'm like, oh no.
Wait a minute.
I believe that I am now, this would be called trouble.
I
am in trouble.
Yep. Yeah, she was a late addition. We didn't bring her on until a year and a half ago or so. And, yeah.
I mean, so I am right in thinking that she came in later.
Yeah, we had somebody else for a little while, and then we kind of went without, and we'd start bringing Katie up just for a song or two.
Right.
We figured out how to evolve her voice into the band, Except first it just was like, it wasn't what I was hearing.
Yeah.
But like this song, she just knocked it out of the park. And
I love when the two of you sing together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll after this we'll come in if you're comfortable with that. And you're gonna notice that I take a lot of pictures.
Hey, that's okay.
It's a lot of video.
That's all right.
Of course, it's all yours. You can do anything you want with it.
No problem.
Can I get you just introduce yourself?
Yeah. Right now?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm Jerome Casinger from the band Winchester Gray.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Oh, yes. So you're playing along. Now I'm going to do the obligatory meta shot of the you're in the frame twice.
Oh, nice.
Everybody looks good. I love it when equipment works.
That's good.
That makes my life so much easier. So is this move isn't permanent?
No, probably 2-3 years.
Okay.
And like I said, it's pretty easy for me to come back here, so I'm gonna keep roots here and keep working with Chris Suttle, who did all the album work for us, and got roots here. So I'm from Indiana, and this is about as close as I can get. So I'd like to kind of Do I need headphones or go without?
That's totally your call.
Okay, I didn't know the way you guys are wired.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it totally works either way.
Okay. Somewhere I can't move when I play.
Well, we can swing microphones.
No, we're good. Used to stomp on my foot.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Winchester Gray here on your Tuesday afternoon alternative. A double shot from them. That last song was Whiskey. Beautiful duet. And the song before that is Shadow, which was the first single off their latest record. And I am fortunate to be joined here in studio. Jerome from Winchester Gray is here. How you doing,
Good.
sir?
Hey, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
It is very nice to have you here. I've loved your music since.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think. I always screw up the name of the album.
Missing Chapters.
Missing Chapters.
Yep,
I don't know why.
Album.
I'm always calling it Missing Pieces.
It probably was missing some pieces when we did it, but it's like any first thing you do. So.
Well, you're being very kind. But I gotta say, I love your music.
Thank you.
You have a lovely voice, and I love your enthusiasm.
Thank you.
Right?
A little bit of that.
I love when you do the stomping and you throw yourself into the performance.
Mm-hmm.
I just adore that. It is so cool when that happens.
Yeah.
So that you get the the music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're hearing the song, but then you also get this really cool visual performance to go with that.
No, it was something that, you know, my dad told. My dad was a musician too, and he always told me, he said, you know, so there's all these entertainers in the world, and he says all these musicians in the world, but a lot of times musicians don't remember that they're entertainers, you know. And he says, so you got to get into your music, and it's, if you're enjoying it, then other people are going to enjoy it too, you know. And I always just kind of took that to heart, and so I enjoy performing. I'm usually drenched by the end of my set, but I love the music, and why not dance a little bit and have fun with it, you know. So
nothing wrong with a little aerobic music activity.
You know, I'm getting a little out of shape for it, but that's all right.
Well, I'm not going to say anything, Jerome. Well, this is the part where we start whistling. And
Yeah. The age has been good.
How long have you been making music?
So I was 15 years old when I got my first guitar, but that was what was unique about Winchester Gray. Was actually the first time I ever said, you know, I'm going to put myself out there.
Yeah.
You know, at the time we started this, I was, you know, early 30s, and which is not too far off from where I am. I think I was 31 when I started this, and I just never put myself out, so it was really, really uncomfortable for me, because here I've been writing things and always just kind of enjoyed music, but and the progression from where we started from that first album of figuring out who we were, what are my songs going to be about, what are my influences, what is it that I'm trying to tell. It's been an interesting ride, you know, because some guys I know they do it their whole lives, and that's not my story, you know, that's not mine at all. It's just, hey, I'm 3 years into this, you know, coming up on 4, and this has been the journey so far. And not being from Dayton, it's been a grassroots movement for us and for me, because I'm not from here, so I didn't have this natural following of people that right away would show up to my shows and be like, what's this guy all about? You know, it was empty. You know, it was just empty, and I had to give them something to go with. So,
well, you'd hope that everybody would start there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they can appreciate when it's not empty.
Exactly. Yep.
I've been to several of your shows, and I can say they have not been empty.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, it's because people like you go to them, so we appreciate it. You know?
Well, and I'm happy to go and drag people with me.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point now where I will drag my mom-in-law to shows.
There we go. All right, that's good.
And then she has a great time, and I'm like, I knew you would love this.
Yeah.
So how did Winchester Gray come about?
Yeah, Craigslist is the answer.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of the running joke is that we still, our bass player, Michael Giefer, we still don't know where he's from, so we just say Sweden. Everything, he's a Swede, and he likes meatballs, and but no, it was, you know, kind of before we, you know, we started with a core group of people, and you know, just through figuring out who we were, you know, kind of started exchanging people to get to the group that we had now. You know, and some were friends of other friends, but actually everybody that we have at this point was through Craigslist, and just by showing up and playing in my little home studio and practicing, and you know, it was funny with Giefer, the bass player. I remember he came over and practiced, and then a few days later he says, yeah, you know, he goes, I think I'd be interested in this project. I like what you're doing. And I said, well, we have a show tomorrow if you can learn 32 songs. And he did, you know, and he just, I mean, I know he's the type, he's a musical genius. He just writes down the keys and he made it happen.
Wow.
But, and it's just been such an awesome time having people like him and John in the group. They're just well above my league, you know, is what I always say.
But I think you're being a little unduly hard on yourself.
You know, well, they helped a lot. You know,
sure. It does seem, when I've seen you, and you, dear listener, if you've not gone to a Winchester Gray show, many of us who love Winchester Gray refer to them as the mighty Winchester Gray.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Something I got from Jeremy from
the typical Johnsons. Yeah.
And I admit I totally stole that because I think it's also true. There's a lot of meat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a muscular nature to it. Not that overwhelms the songs, but there's a lot happening there that any music fan could latch onto.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny to hear that the band started off, you know, through Craigslist, and it doesn't have like a really scary ending.
Yeah, it's like everybody lived, you know, and so it was good. And I think that's like, you know, I'm very, I get bored quickly, and I mean, I've got a huge history in music, just not writing music. You know, I was a promoter for a long time. I own a sound and lighting company. I've mixed for other bands. I've done a lot of work, and I've learned, to me, what grabs songs. Everybody always said, they're like, you're the type of person, you can listen to an album and right away I can pick what song is going to be on the radio, you know. And I've called out so many bands before they made it big and said, yep, they're going to get it, they're going to get it. And that's nothing against me, but after hearing so much of it, and then when I play, that kind of translates. I get bored quickly, and I think you can hear that in the music. I'm always looking for a change, or what's something different I can do here. I don't want this song to sound like my last one, you know, and so that's why everybody's like, well, what do you play? Like, well, it's Americana. Well, what's that mean? I don't know. You know, that's the whole point of America. I mean, it's a mixture of the rock, the blues, the country. I mean, we've got everything from, you know, pedal steel stuff going on to straight up rock and roll. So,
oh, absolutely.
you know, whatever you want to hear, you'll hear it some night at our show. I mean, you'll get a little bit of everything. So.
Well, I know I bought a CD to send to a friend of mine in Minneapolis,
Mm-hmm.
and he asked me, how would you describe this? And I said, it's just Midwestern rock and roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little folk, little rock,
Mm-hmm.
little blues.
Yep.
You want to say a little singer-songwriter in there too? I mean,
Yeah.
at a certain point you realize I've just given you like 30
Every
different...
30
yeah,
you know,
it's everything.
glass of wine is whatever you pick up out of it, you know.
There you go.
So,
No, I like that.
Mhm.
I think that's quite accurate.
Mhm.
So we've got this new album that in some ways is titled and it's about some changes that are happening in your lives
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Tell us about the new record.
Yeah, so new record's called From Dayton to Denver, and it's actually got two meanings to it. You know, not only is it my physical departure from Dayton to Denver, but we also titled it that because it's kind of Dayton's gift to Denver. You know, this is a band that the music and the roots came from Dayton, and we're taking it to Denver. You know, I've got such good strong ties here that I'm going to be back in Dayton. You know, it's not a Winchester Gray's leaving Dayton forever. We're already kind of thinking, okay, how many times a year do we come back and and do all of that? But you know, it's been a fun. It's like anything. A first album, I feel like you're still trying to figure out who you are. You know, and this record, I feel like this is us. You know, I mean, the songs capture. I'm not trying to fit everything within one genre of, hey, what's radio friendly or not, you know, in regards to, oh, it needs to be 4 minutes long, you know, or anything. It's just been like, no. And, you know, Chris Suttle is our producer and did all the mixing and everything on it. And, you know, I initially used him on the first record, and then from that, we became just really great friends to where he just got this awesome understanding of what I'm trying to do. And so this time, you know, he really acted in a producer role and said, hey, we need to move this around, do that around. And Shadow, which you played, you know, the first song, has got Chris all over it. I mean, if I played a demo of what that song sounded like the first time I did it, and then you hear where he kind of moved things around and made things more appropriate, it's like, wow, to have that set of ears now, and you know, he's kind of a hidden member of us, I would say.
Yeah.
So, you know, doing all that, we're just excited about this record. We're excited to play it. You know, it hits everything on Monday, and then obviously the big show next Friday to kind of kick it off. You know, it's kind of weird doing an album release show and a farewell show as one. It's just going to be a big party. You know, is kind of where we're going with it. But we're really stoked. I mean,
not when, but where is the show?
Yeah, so it's going to be at Oscars in Vandalia, and you know, it's been interesting. You know, that was another thing that was a struggle for a while because I mean, it's gonna be a big show, and you know, everybody who's been to Oscars is such a supporter of local music. You know, Matt, his whole team there, and you know, it's going to be packed, and that's been the struggle. Is, well, should we have done it somewhere else? And I said, no, we're not going to, because Matt was one of the first people who picked us up when we were, once again, that homegrown. We don't have a following here, and he said, you know, you're welcome to play here. And so we're going to kind of keep returning that favor to him and say, hey, let's have a good night, and they're all friends, you know, so whatever, you know. If it's shoulder to shoulder, that's what it is. If it's two people, that's what it is too. You know, I know it won't be that, but it's gonna be a good time.
I would hope not.
Yeah, we got people come from Chicago. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So it'd be a good night. Few tricks up the sleeve. You know, you've been to some of our shows.
I have, yeah.
You know, we like to keep people guessing.
3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I gotta say, for those of you listening, if you've not seen Winchester Gray, it is fantastic. It's a terrific band. They're a lot of fun. We talked earlier about high energy. I am not lying to you. I am not lying to you. You should go make those plans now. I know we have links on our websites to the CD release show, but can we give people a little taste?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So we'll do one that actually we haven't even played. I mean, this is probably the first time I think I've really played this. So a little sneak peek here before the release on Monday. This one's called Out of My Head. And yeah. Won't you rolled out of bed. All the thoughts you planted in my head. Stay out of my head. Won't you stay out of my head? Stay out of my head. Won't you stay out of my head? I can't sleep. No, I can't sleep in my bed. 'Cause I've got more thoughts, oh, I've got more than I've had. Tossing, turning about the things that you said. I will roll the dice just to get ahead. You're crazy, I see. You're crazy, I dreams. Crazy the day I tried to leave. Stay out of my head. Won't you stay out of my head? Stay out of my head. Won't you stay out of my head? You're crazy, I see. You're crazy, I dreams. Crazy the day I tried to leave. Stay out of my head. Won't you stay out of my head? Stay out of my head. Won't you stay out of my
Just lovely.
Thank you.
I like that a lot.
Thank you. It's a fun one.
That is, I can see you just get into that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
restrained
that.
to a chair. You know, I could have been dancing on everything in here. It would have been great.
Well, I guess we should have built a ramp for you.
Maybe. Yeah, we might have needed that. But,
So, hey everybody, you're listening to your Tuesday afternoon alternative here on WUDR, Dayton, Ohio. Music in all directions, a rock in the Gem City. Support your local music scene. We have Jerome of Winchester Gray here. They have a terrific new record that is coming your way from Dayton to Denver. I also like their other records too. Missing Chapters is a terrific record. I think it's a week from Friday is the, I don't want to call it a farewell show, the album release show and the celebration.
Celebration, I like
of
that.
Winchester Gray music is happening at Oscars. Are some folks playing with you?
Yeah. So this was another one of those. It's like there's so many people we wanted to bring with us, and obviously you only have so much time in a night. And
Sure.
It was one of those things that we looked at, looking at where we've been for the last years. We wanted guys that have supported us and that are our friends. And so,
Sure.
Zane Gerlach is a good friend of mine, and he's done some stuff. I've done some recording with him. Obviously, he was Zane and the Sway before. Now, it's, he's just kind of start us off with a little acoustic stuff. And once again, the genre is going to shift throughout the night. Then after that, we've got our good friend Charlie Jackson, the Heartland Railway. So, we're going to get that country thing going.
Yeah.
And he's, once again, great friend. Love his music.
Love that album.
Yeah, it is awesome.
That album.
It is awesome. And it's so cool. I still remember we played with him. I'm diverting tangent, but we had him play with us at Peaches. And I still remember sitting like, Charlie, you got to get the band going, man. You got to get your music is awesome, and it's cool to see it all come together for him, and he's just doing great things. And then we'll go on right after Charlie, and then it was one of those struggles. Me and Jeremy from the Typical Johnsons, we're good friends. Jeremy and Lynn, that whole crew, and it's always funny because he's always like, I hate going last in a set, and we understand that being a band. And I talked to him, I said, listen, I said, it's our last show, and I said, this is a compliment. I want to end with you guys because I personally I'm stressed out at our shows. I mean, I'm thinking about lights and sound, and we do some stuff that a lot of bands around here don't do that kind of, for me, I have to do a lot of extra prep work, but I want to get our set done, and then I just want to be able to sing my favorite Typical Johnson songs, which is all of them, so I'll be right there in the front, dancing and having a good time, and actually may go up and sing a song or two with them. So,
nice.
It's going to be a lot of fun, so. It'll be a jam-packed night, that's for sure. We're going to start at 8 so we don't have to keep people out as long. Cause
that's a great lineup.
It is, yeah.
That's a really stellar lineup.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm going to have fun.
Well, I don't think it was the last time I saw you, but maybe next to the last time was at the OE.
Yeah.
You guys in the Typical Johnson.
Yeah.
I think I saw you somewhere after that, but I tend to get shows really get confused in my mind. But I thought, it was really impressive how well the two bands fit together.
Yeah, we really do.
And I'm just gonna start to drool here because that to me is like a dream set. It flows so well. It's the love that clearly each band has for the other is there. So dear listener, if you don't know these bands, first of all, shame on you. But you can find these bands through social media. They're on Bandcamp. They have websites. The Typical Johnsons are a terrific band. Winchester Gray. It'll be interesting. I think the last time I saw Zach was a while ago.
Yeah, Zane.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Zane and the Sway stuff.
Yep.
I don't think they've had the full band thing for a while now.
Now he's just kind of doing the acoustic thing and kind of focusing on that again. But man, he does all the looper stuff sometimes. And he's just got a cool. A good way to start a show is to kind of get people warming up into it and welcoming everybody in. So
my inability to speak aside, you should go to the show. That's what I'm saying, dear listener. Get to the show, buy the CDs, go support some terrific local music. I'm just curious. So, what do you expect in the future? Because I know as you're about to release a record, you've probably been living with these songs for a year or more.
Yeah, it has.
So. Will there be another album in the near future?
I think so. Yeah, I've been, I'm always writing, and everybody writes in their own way. I've got probably 87 different notebooks strung out throughout the house, and then notes in every iPad, MacBook, phone. Where a lot of times I travel a lot for my day job, and so a lot of times I just go back and certain songs that I write that I've never changed. There's others that I've worked a lot, but. Once again, I get tired of things quickly, and so usually, like when I get in a writing spurt, I get into a writing spurt, and that's one thing I can say. Every band does it different. Some bands will spend a lot of time in the studio. I mean, they'll lock down 2, 3, 4 weeks, sometimes months, to record an album, and we've done both of our albums in one day.
Really?
I mean, we went to Sonic Lab Studios out in Columbus for Missing Chapters. And we went in there and did all of the tracking in one day, just overdubbed vocals afterwards. And even the guy that owns the studio, he's like, "You guys are done," And then same thing here.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, like wow. And then here it was at Encore. I think I'll say we were one of the first bands. I'm sure pretty close to the new Encore studios to record in there with Chris. And the same thing, went in a day and just laid out all the tracks and cleaned up just a few minor things, but. yeah, I don't like to sit and wait on something because I feel like if I sit and I wait on it, I end up wanting to change it too much.
Oh,
and
you tinker with it.
Yeah,
forever.
it's like, oh, let's try this or that, and it's like, no, you know, I wrote it like this for a reason because at the time that's where my emotion was, or I was angry about something, or I was upset about something, or something came to mind, you know, and I want to try to keep as much of that as possible in the song without tinkering a whole lot.
Oh,
you know?
sure.
So, you know, it's kind of fun to just go in and blitz it in a day. I mean, spend a long night, and it was fun. It's just been a lot of fun. But, so yeah, ready writing new stuff. I mean, there's stuff there's a little teaser at the end of the album of just me sitting with my acoustic in the middle of the studio, and, you know, I told Chris, hey, hit record, you know, and let's just throw it, and now we do the song as a full band song. The band never even heard it. You know, I just did it. They didn't even hear it, and we played at Dub Pub, and Kent Montgomery from the Dual Fashion sat in with us, and I just said, hey, you know, it's in the key of G, just go with it. And that was the first time like we ever really played it as a group, you know. And
I was out of town. No, I think I was overbooked. It's one of those lovely Dayton phenomena where you have to be in 3 places
Exactly,
at once.
yeah, exactly.
But I wanted to go see because I thought, oh, Kent,
Yep.
I can totally see his style fitting with you.
It was a blast.
That had to be fun.
It was just, you know, it was, and the Dual Fashion, those guys, I mean, that was the first.
Terrific guys.
Awesome. And, you know, it was them and the Repeating Arms, the first bands I ever saw when I moved to Dayton. I mean, I came in, went to a show, and they were both playing, and I was like, I'm going to like it here. You know,
Harold Hensley, one of the best voices in
yes.
Dayton. I mean,
absolutely.
Good Lord Almighty.
Absolutely. And so that was fun to be able to you know, to get Kent to play a sit-in of a set. To me, that was like a, you know, a dream set of, it's cool to see these guys not know who they are because I'm fresh to Dayton, and then leave knowing, hey, they're willing to, you know, step in and help us out on a show. So,
which speaks to the community we have in Dayton.
Very true. Yeah.
It's just a real powerful strength. So you have some songs.
Yeah.
It sounds like that.
Working some. Yeah. I'm always working something. You know. So, yeah.
Well, can you do another? Or do you need a
absolutely.
break before we jump in?
Oh no, we can. No.
So just let me remind everyone real quickly. You're listening to WUDR Dayton, Ohio, student-run radio at the University of Dayton. We're here supporting our local music scene. We've got Jerome of Winchester Gray in the studio. We've got live streams going. We've got video. I mean, oh my gosh, all the equipment we have in here. It is a little insane, but we do this so that if you want to see what we're doing here in the studio, you can jump on one of those live streams. So Jerome, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so this next one's called Summer in Ohio. So I figured, hey, we're here in Ohio, why don't we play a song that's got the name of the state in it? So
seems appropriate.
It'll be a long
Jerome of Winchester Gray here in the studio. That's a terrific song.
Thank you.
I don't know if we talked about this in advance. I must have sent you that. Here's where my sweet spot is.
Oh, I found it, huh?
I'm a sucker for catchy choruses.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's got one, I think.
So how did that song evolve for you?
Yeah, so that song is, unfortunately, it's a set of bad, I had a bad month in my life, I would say. And
I'm sorry to hear that.
well, that's okay. It happens. And, as musicians, sometimes, releasing the pain is sometimes writing about a song,
Sure.
and putting it down. And, that's one of those songs that's been real interesting because people hear it and, while some close to me may know what it's about, a lot of people don't. And that's the way I wanted it. It's a song that, if you had a rough time, you can listen to this and you can be like, I've had a rough time too. This has not been a good summer in Ohio, but, and the whole song is about, for me, I had a bad summer, and when I sat there and thought about it, it was like, how do I deal with it? I stay busy. Anybody who knows me, I stay extremely busy, which is why, I'm basically saying, hey, it's going to be a longer winter if I just stay home. I need to just get going, move on with life, and make the best of it. So that was the whole theme. It's not made to be like a real sad song, but there's definitely some anger every time I sing it, for, we've all had things in our life that happens,
yeah,
and it's just
sure.
like, why did that have to happen, But, so I just sing that song and get a little mad at it and then dance around and then it's okay, I feel good afterwards, so it's all right.
That sounds like some of the best therapy.
It really is, yeah. I mean, just sometimes locking yourself in a room and go to town, and let it out. And that one, I've done that many times, but that was one where I was like, I feel like this is worthy of putting out there, There's other people that may have some pain too, so I went for it, and people seem to enjoy it, so.
I think of David Payne's.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheaper than therapy.
Yep, absolutely.
He's absolutely right.
Love that record, yeah.
Oh, that's a phenomenal record.
It really is.
That really is a great record.
Yep.
He's a really gifted songwriter.
He really is. He knows how to relate to people, and you can listen, you know where he's going with it, and yeah.
We're really, really fortunate in Dayton to have so many terrific songwriters, terrific bands, so much great music, which you, dear listener, should go see a week from this Friday at Oscars, Winchester Gray's album release extravaganza.
There we go.
I don't want to say about that. I don't want to talk about that other thing.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to stay positive here. You get the typical Johnsons, you got Winchester Gray, you got
Charlie.
you got Charlie Jackson, the Heartland Railway, you got Zane, minus the sway, but still pretty cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
Nonetheless, a great, great night of music, of songwriting, of friends coming together. I highly recommend that should be on your calendar. And I know Dayton is full of great events, so at least it should be one of your choices. And if you can make it out there, I've been to Oscars a few times. It's just a fun.
Let me tell you, we're gonna make it worth your while. I mean, that's the band. Once again, having John and Geef and even Katie involved. Once it. This last show, our last show, no, I'm coming back. But this show, we're all about giving it back to the person. So let me just say, if you've been to our other show, you may know what's coming up. If you haven't been to if you weren't at our first album release, ask somebody that was. But it's $5 to get in, but you're gonna get your money back in a way. Let's just put it that way. And we'll make sure everybody has fun. So,
well, there you go. I'm gonna give Jerome a minute to catch his breath here. I'm curious about the Globe Trekker song.
Oh yeah.
And since I have you captive in the studio right now, I mean, it was gosh, I'm trying to think. I first started playing Dreams off of Missing Chapters, and then discovered Globe Trekker, and then saw you play it out. And again, not only is there an incredible enthusiasm, but I think you alluded to live on stage that there's a story behind this.
Globe Trekker is very interesting because. Once again, my job's taking me all over the world, and just absolutely all over the world. And that was one that I had a really bad day. I mean, I almost missed my flight. We're talking international here, to where then you're days behind schedule now, and I had to get somewhere. And I remember sitting down, and I think the what do you call them? The flight attendant. Sorry. The flight attendant saw, and she could see I was distraught. I probably was a little clammy and whatnot. She goes, "You look like you're not really having a good day." And I said, "No, I'm not." And so she offered me a complimentary spirit. Yes. And of course I partook. And then that's where that song came from. Was was from that. And yeah, so it just kind of was one I wrote at 30,000 feet in the air, and sipping on that, and just it was a self-reflection time for me of all the stress of traveling all over the world, and how a lot of people would look at what I do and be like, man, I want that. I mean, I've been to so many countries and places, and it's awesome. I love it, and for my age, I'm like, I've seen so much, but it also made me realize how much I miss being home.
Sure.
And so that's kind of what that song alludes to, is my internal struggle of what's too much being gone and what's too much not being home, that battle. So yeah, that's kind of what it goes to.
Well, let's hear that.
Sweet.
I love this song.
I appreciate it.
Give you a break. I'll leave this one on if you don't
no
mind.
problem. Yeah.
And then,
No problem.
You are a great interviewer.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. I always get nervous about radio
Oh man!
stuff.
Oh dear Lord, no.
You're saying the wrong thing.
Let me correct you on that.
Sometimes you forget things to talk about.
No, I think in terms of having challenging interviews, it's never been somebody from the area.
Right.
It's been usually somebody from out of town.
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
you ask a question, and their response is like, "Yeah." Oh no!
Can you elaborate here? This is going to be a really short time,
Woo! Well, I'm so glad we could have this time together. Oh, look at the time!
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I did not mean to turn.
Oh, you're fine.
This is where my wife makes fun of me. What do you need a portable battery for?
Because times like this.
Oops. Spelling matters. That's so cool to hear you playing along. So Katie's only been in the band for a short time.
Yeah.
Was that more your idea, or?
It was a struggle for me. Having your wife in a band to me is kind of like
That's a lot of togetherness.
Well, yeah, it's that, and what I'm writing is I have to kind of keep in mind. I don't know, just all of it was like it interjects new sides, but also can make things better because we can work well together or not, one way or another. But it just kind of worked. So we kind of went with it and started slow and. But then it was also having a child at home. Okay, we're gonna have a sitter,
Right. Yeah.
And we had to kind of work through all that. So.
Well, I mean, oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah, because I love that acoustic element you had in there.
This is one that's not on the set for Oscars, and we talked about it
really?
last week, and we're like, wow, should we put it on the set?
Well, it's a great song.
We're struggling with we don't want to fill so much time, be cognizant of, everybody, of course, we'll see what happens. I have a feeling that we're going to have some in the backup.
Might come back.
Yeah, we'll have some in the backup ready to go, and if we play a couple more, we'll play a couple more kind of a thing, so.
I should probably ask you, I tend to have this, I'm here till at least 6:30. You're still good on time?
Oh, yeah, yep. I've got nowhere to be.
Well,
except
I
dinner
doubt,
at some point tonight.
I doubt that. I bet you're leaving something out.
Yeah, well,
Because I thought it would be nice if I can set this up to have you do another song and see if I can get it to go live out on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
And I play. I
You
know
have
enough to be dangerous. With
That's
all
my
these
problem. Everybody's like, our whole light show is programmed. Like, I'm that way too. I'm always tinkering, and yeah, I know it drove our bass player nuts for a long time because I would bring so much stuff, and I'm like, look, you know, I've got it. I own a sound and lighting company, so why not use it?
Yeah, why not?
You know, I mean, I know it's not a lot of extra work, but you know, it helps us to look different and sound different than a lot of the local band. Not that, you know, everybody's got their own thing on how they do it, but
of course,
if you have it available, why not use it? You know, and so, yeah.
I'm gonna let this go ahead and go live.
Okay. Live on Twitter.
Live on Twitter.
All right. I like Twitter.
And then we'll go live on Facebook.
Okay. We got live everything.
It is something I thought, like, what's a value added I can bring? You know, most of my listeners are online.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We have equipment here that then does stuff to the signal, that then goes to another computer that sends it out.
Okay.
I am told that we've crashed the server a couple of times, which meant that we had like 2,500, 3,000 people. Like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So like, if I crash the server, I'm like, I'm okay with that. Yeah. And the techies are not okay with that. They're like, do you know the hassle this gives us? I will be really honest and reveal my ignorance. I have no clue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me so that I know.
Yep.
But this was the first song we started playing, Dreams.
Yep. And this one got a lot of good feedback from people.
It's catchy as heck.
Yeah.
It is. It's totally catchy, don't you think?
Yep.
I mean, and I know you're the creator, so your feelings are probably a little more nuanced than my own.
This is the one that was always so fun to play, and then I felt like we
really? I can see that.
And then I felt like we overplayed it, and then so we kind of slowed it down. But then it was like every time we played it, I'm like, there's a reason we play this one all the time. It's just all the lead work in it and everything else, and then you know, this one was actually written about. I wrote this one at 3 o'clock in the morning, sitting next to my son, you know, because he couldn't sleep. That's
right.
This whole song's about him because he used to get nightmares, and it was back before he could talk real well, and so he would always say,
he couldn't really say what he was feeling.
So that was the whole "what hides behind your eyes at night." That's him saying, "Daddy, there's something hiding behind my eyes at night."
Right.
And I was like, "Wow, what a line!" You know, I was like,
"That's a brilliant line."
He was like 4 years old, you know, and I'm like, I'm gonna use that in a song, you know.
And you did.
Yeah. The whole song is revolved around, you know, me as a father, like thinking,
wow,
how I wish I could fix what's hiding behind your eyes, but I can't.
Of course,
you know?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I have two. Mine are a fair sight older than yours. I have a daughter who's soon to be 30 in December, and a son will be 22 in December. My babies don't live at home with me anymore. My son recently moved out. That was hard. That was hard. I have to admit that I may have cried. I may, you know, and gosh, you know, it's funny how it's indelible, right? You're so connected, you know, and you're connected forever, whether they want you to be or not. But I can totally see how that works in a song like this. Well, is it okay if we share that on air too?
Absolutely. He's probably listening, so.
These folks heard it.
He's listening to the radio. He says, "I hope they play my song, Daddy." Oh, okay, we'll see.
Dreams from Winchester Gray. We were talking off air that Jerome wrote that at like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it was you know, my son was real young and wasn't able to quite articulate yet what was going on, and he used to have really bad nightmares. And the way he would say it, you know, he'd just start screaming, and so I'd go running in there because I'm a light sleeper, and he would just say, "Daddy, there's something hiding behind my eyes at night. You know, there's something hiding behind my eyes at night." And so that's where that line came from. You know, what hides behind your eyes at night, causing you not to sleep. You know, and then from there, the rest is a story. You know, what if I told you it's just a dream? You know, I'm hoping to help you see. And so, you know, it's my struggle of, you know, when you're at that point as a parent that you want to help, but you can't. You know, you feel helpless. And so that whole song is just about how he struggled for so long with nightmares and like, how can I comfort you? You know, it's what I want to do as a father. And just had to let him grow out of it. You know, what do you do? So you write a song about it. That's what we do. I mean, we write a song.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's that was written one night at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the next morning I woke up and put the music to it, and then you know, that Thursday the band came in and it was like, yeah, that works, let's do it. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, it was fun.
So you're listening to your Tuesday afternoon alternative. Hi there, I'm Dr. J. I'm your host for YTAA. In November, we celebrate 14 years. That feels like a really long period of time. But you know what? What doesn't feel like a long period of time? Spending a day talking to terrific musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Many thanks to Tim Pritchard for coming in, Josh Thrasher for coming in. Many thanks, although I'm not going to let you go quite yet, Jerome of Winchester Gray for coming in. We come to you every Tuesday, 3 to 6 p.m. It is a rare pleasure that you let us come into your homes, your workplaces, share the terrific local independent music that is really just the hallmark of this program. Thank you so much. So you're listening, we come to you on WUDR Dayton, Ohio, student-run radio from the University of Dayton, music in all directions, a rock in the gem city, support your local music scene. So I'm wondering, can we get one more song from you?
Absolutely, yeah. I think I'll play one that's actually off the Missing Chapters album just because I haven't played it acoustic in a while and I like playing it acoustically. So
I'm not going to tell you not to.
all right. So yes, this one's It's Me I'm Lost, otherwise known, most people know this, Hey Honey. So. Honey, it's me, the one that you loved. Pick up the phone, it's been so long since we've talked. Hey honey, it's me, the one that you loved. I swear I never changed, I just had to wake up. Just had to wake up. The mountains and the seas between you and me, the waves came crashing like lightning. I tried to hold on just to give you one more chance. The mountains and the seas between you and me.
Winchester Gray here in the studio. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks
in.
for having me. This has been awesome. It's been great.
It is really, really cool that you took the time to do this. I can't thank you enough.
I can't thank you for having me. This is love what you're doing and what we have such a great scene here and people supporting local music and it's people and like what they're doing here at the station that keep things going for us, and so we appreciate your time just as much as you appreciate ours, believe me. So
oh, you're most welcome, and it is a real pleasure to be able to have the opportunity to delve into all the great music that we have in this city. And it really is something that I don't think people recognize about a city like Dayton. And part of the mission of this show is to encourage people to seek it out wherever they are, whatever their fair city is, whatever their fine city is, where they live, there's great music to be discovered.
Definitely.
Like Winchester Gray.
Yep. Hope we're one of many. Hopefully.
Thank you so much for coming in, Jerome. I really can't thank you enough. You're listening to WUDR Dayton, Ohio, and that does it for us. We're rolling up the carpet, we're putting stuff away, we're getting ready to head on out. We'll be back next week with a brand new program, 3 p.m., although I have been known to sneak into the studio earlier. We will bring you a brand new Your Tuesday Afternoon alternative, including new music from Say Sue Me, Wussy, and some interesting live things from the Afghan Wigs, on top of all of the usual terrific music that we will be bringing you from our fair city of Dayton, Ohio. So for Flower, Mrs. Dr. J, and my friend Jerome, who's sitting over here in the corner, thank you so much for spending time with us. We'll see you all next week, everybody. Bye-bye.
UDR Dayton, 99.5.
Wonderful.
And we're done.
Let's see who else is watching.
2017 is the time we celebrate 13 years of Your Tuesday Afternoon alternative. What used to be the School of Rock with Dr. J.
Whew. Man, even work up a sweat.
I love that. I
Man,
absolutely love that.
Alright. Well, that was great.
Oh, yep. She's on there. She's on the Twitter.
Nice.
I love it. And make all these things go away. Yeah, that's looking good here too.
Very cool. And you're just going to become the tech master.